you to take this last 10 minutes just to document your thinking, document your questions, and document your commitments. What are some of these things you're personally going to try and take forward with you as we move into this work? So let's dive into our notes. I'm going to go over there and start participating. But let's give this some closure and anchor what's going to be our takeaway personally. Also, you can unmute and start talking to me if you'd like, but this is going to be our closure activity. Let's dive into it. I do want to check in. How are you feeling?
I feel okay having, I feel good having had the time for this morning. I just think it's so important to go through, have you presenting it with us and have an opportunity to stop and ask questions and to chat and to see. I've just written down, what do we do how do we help the teachers who haven't seen this and haven't been part of it, so that they feel comfortable with it too, and are aware of it, because perhaps some people didn't go to Saturday, haven't been to today, so they're totally. And I think it's a lot, if we just say here's a video, it's a lot for them to do on their own. So I'm just wondering if there's a way that as a school we can make some time for the people who haven't seen it to sit together and go through it together in some sort of comfortable away from class time.
For sure, Christina. Yep. And our relationship with Marie is going to be ongoing. And one of the many incredible silver linings of this whole world situation is that we've now learned that we can kind of work with a consultant frequently, not just like once a year for 3 years, but times where staff can work together with Marie, because I totally agree. This is just the beginning, and there's still a lot more collective understanding that needs to be built around these ideas. So definitely. Yeah. Sorry, Marie, though, you were going to say something.
No. I couldn't agree more. And I appreciate the commitment and love there that I just felt. I think that the idea, though, of differentiating it, right? We differentiate things for young learners. So I would suggest that the intention here is to differentiate it for adult learners and to think about even today, right? So today was a much smaller group. We capped it, right? So our intention was to have a small group so that we could connect. Saturday was huge. We just sort of like went through it. It physically happened to us. It was very keynote-y, right? But today was more about, hey, can we wrestle with this? Let's talk. I would love to hear also from our colleagues who weren't there on Saturday, because I went about this very differently than Saturday. Saturday, we just kind of went through the slides. But today I was like, hey, let's look at one. Let's play with what comes up naturally. Was that okay? Especially for people who weren't there Saturday. Because if we were going to work together again, let's say 2 months from now, we would want to pick a small group. We'd want to actually get your learning targets on the table. We would try and build it together, right? So you keep going deeper and stronger into the work. That's a capacity building model. And if that wasn't enough for someone, then they would have all the videos and could also have these small conversations, Christina, like what you're referring to. I think we need to listen to one another and hear what is it that would be helpful. I don't know that laying out a plan and saying everyone's going to do it exactly the same way has ever actually worked in a school. Everyone with me on that, right? So the feeling I'm getting from your leadership and your design into this is one that's going to be differentiated and responsive. But yeah, I'd love to hear, how was this, if you were, I would love to hear, how was this for those who were at Saturday, and how was this for those who totally were not at Saturday? Were you able to jump in with us on it?
Sorry, my name is Dion. I can speak on behalf of, I couldn't make it on Saturday morning. So I think it was actually quite useful, especially with the learning strategies. I think you were quite specific, and then with the italics words too, like better example type of thing. I do agree with Elfrida because I'm on the same team with her in year 1 that we might want to pick and choose a couple to work on first in year 1, and then hopefully maybe as they go into year 2, we might have different skills that we want to be working on with them, and then year 5, year 6, things like that. So I think it's maybe like a school initiative that we will need to look at. Yeah.
Thank you, Dion. Happy you were here.
Thank you.
Hi, Marie. I'm Yajing. I'm a year 6 teacher. On Saturday, I only participated in the first 2 keynotes. I didn't, listen to this one. And today, I think I got some theory support for what I have been doing, but I learned more. And a lot of what you said is inspiring. And I think what I'm going to do is firstly digest the 16 learning strategies myself, and also share those strategies with my teaching partner and my team.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm feeling like first steps, common language. Starting small with just common language so everybody understands what is a learning strategy, what is a student learning target, and how we break that down in steps in language.
Hopeful. Thank you.
I would say, because like I was with you on Saturday, and so today obviously went in a lot more depth, and like seeing the like the feedback sheet, and then how the kids are choosing, what they need to work on, what they're good at, what they need to practice, and then from there, so seeing that whole thing like all organized, which I really like, but then that also made me kind of go like, whoa, like how that's like a lot. Like I'm thinking of like, okay, do I have to get all of that set up like right now before I can start something? Because originally I was going to just start with having some small little self-navigation days, and I started playing around on Schoology because Anna's in my class, and so my kids are familiar with Schoology already and getting on, and so they've kind of like gotten past that hurdle. Putting some little like small self-navigation tasks in based on what we are working on right now in our unit, but not having all of that other part done where I've like given them feedback on how they're doing necessarily and they're planning it out like that. It's just sort of like that, like a little easing into it. I mean, that was my thoughts.
I would encourage you to do it that way. And even if you only pick a couple of learning targets, maybe give them a little bit of feedback, right? Little chunks is the way to make this work. I certainly would not say you can't move forward until you get that whole thing done. So you go, Christy. You go. Take over Schoology. Show me how it goes.
Okay.
I know that made us hit 11 o'clock, and I want to respect our timelines. I am staying here for a bit if you do have more questions or want to share, but that is the official end of our session. I really appreciate all your dedication to this conversation and taking time out of your day to be here with us. Thank you very much, and let us know how it's working for you.